Ever find yourself staring at your phone like, come on, just load already? We've all been there. You tap an icon, and then the waiting game begins.
The loading icon of doom.
And today, we're going to dive into how Discord slashed their bandwidth usage.
By a lot, like 40%.
Yeah, we're talking serious optimization here.
Not just some quick fix, really digging deep into the nuts and bolts.
If you've ever wondered how apps get faster, this is the deep dive for you.
We're going behind the scenes at Discord to see how they made their app lightning fast.
So why does this even matter? Like, why is bandwidth such a big deal?
Well, think about when you're on your phone, especially if you're on mobile data.
Yeah, you don't have unlimited data.
Exactly. Every megabyte counts. And a poorly optimized app can just chew through your data plan.
Not to mention just the frustration of waiting for things to load.
Ugh, it's the worst. And Discord knew that. They knew users wanted a faster, smoother experience.
Okay, so they wanted to speed things up, but how did they do it? Did they just, like, sprinkle some magic fairy dust on their servers?
No, it wasn't magic, although it kind of feels that way. They actually started with this hunch about a new technology.
Ooh, this is where it gets juicy.
It does. They had this new engine, this promising piece of tech, but their first attempt to use it really backfired.
Oh, a promising start that blew up in their face. I am hooked. Tell me more.
I will, but first, we got to understand what this technology was and why they thought it would work in the first place.
All right, lay it on me. All right, so last time we left off on this cliffhanger with Discord and this new tech that totally backfired. What was this tech and what happened?
So the tech was this thing called Zstandard. It's a type of compression algorithm.
Compression algorithm, like zipping up a file?
Yeah, exactly. It's all about making files smaller so they take up less space and can send over the internet faster.
Okay, so smaller files equal faster speeds. Makes sense. But you said it backfired.
It did, yeah, which is kind of crazy because Zstandard is actually really good.
So what went wrong?
Well, think of it like this. Discord was using this old engine, right? And it was working okay, but they heard about this new engine, Zstandard, that was supposed to be way better, more efficient.
Okay, new engine, better performance. I'm with you.
So they decided to give it a try, but they didn't want to just like swap out the engine in the middle of the race, right?
Yeah, that's a recipe for disaster.
Exactly. So they did something called a dark launch. They basically snuck Zstandard onto a small part of their servers, like a little test drive.
A little test drive before they went full speed ahead. I like it. So what happened? Did this new engine live up to the hype?
That's where things get interesting. It actually did worse. Way worse.
Seriously. But Zstandard is supposed to be better. How is that even possible?
Well, it turns out that the old engine, which was something called Zlib, had a secret weapon.
A secret weapon! I knew it! What was it?
It had been learning. It had been analyzing all the data flowing through Discord for years, and it got really good at compressing that specific type of data.
So it was like a custom-built engine for Discord.
Exactly. And Zstandard, well, it was like a brand new engine off the assembly line. It had all the potential in the world, but it didn't have that experience, that deep knowledge of Discord's data.
So it was like putting a rookie driver in a Formula One car. They might have the skills, but they don't know the track.
Perfect analogy.
Yeah.
And that's when Discord's engineers had their aha moment. They realized that they needed to teach Zstandard about Discord to give it that same level of knowledge as Zlib.
So they had to train their new engine. How did they do that? Did they, like, send it to compression school or something?
Kind of. They focused on something called streaming compression, which is basically compressing data on the fly as it's being sent and received.
Sounds complicated.
It is. But the important thing is, Zlib was already really good at streaming compression for Discord's data, and Zstandard wasn't yet.
Oh, okay, so they had to bring Zstandard up to speed with this whole streaming compression thing.
Exactly. And they didn't just keep the improvements to themselves. Discord actually shared their work with the entire tech community, making streaming compression better for everyone.
Wow, that's pretty awesome of them. So streaming compression, that was the key. Did that solve all their problems?
It was a huge step in the right direction, but the story doesn't end there.
Yeah.
They had another trick up their sleeves, something called dictionaries.
Dictionaries.
Yeah.
Like the ones with all the words. What do those have to do with compression?
I know, it sounds weird, right?
Yeah.
But in this context, a dictionary is basically like a cheat sheet you give to the compression algorithm.
A cheat sheet.
Yeah, it's like giving Zstandard a crash course in all the common phrases and inside jokes people use on Discord.
So instead of starting from scratch every time, Zstandard could just be like, oh yeah, I know that phrase. I can compress that super efficiently.
Exactly. And to create this cheat sheet, Discord analyzed a massive amount of data, something like 120,000 messages.
Wow, that's a lot of data. Did it work? Did the dictionaries give Zstandard the boost they were hoping for?
Well, the results were a little unexpected.
A little unexpected. Come on, don't leave me hanging. Did those dictionaries work or what?
Well, they helped, kinda,
Hmm?
but it wasn't a slam dunk.
What do you mean?
So for longer messages, those dictionaries worked like a charm. Compression got way more efficient.
Okay, that makes sense. I guess longer messages, more patterns to find, more to compress.
Exactly. But, and this is a big but, a lot of Discord messages are short, just quick little bursts.
Yeah, true. Makes sense. The shorter the message, the less there is to compress in the first place, right?
Exactly. And with those short messages, the dictionaries didn't really do much. The gains were tiny.
So sometimes all that fancy tech isn't the answer.
It's like trying to use a chainsaw to cut butter. Sometimes a good old-fashioned knife is all you need.
Makes sense. So are we done with the Zstandard saga? Is that all they did?
Oh, we're just getting started.
Remember how we talked about Discord's obsession with optimization?
Obsessed is putting it mildly. They're like those athletes who shave milliseconds off their time by analyzing every step.
That's a great way to put it. And dictionaries were just one piece of the puzzle. They had other tricks up their sleeves.
Okay, I'm ready. What else did they do? Well, they got really clever with how they use their servers. They realized that late at night, when most people are asleep,
Their servers were basically just chilling out.
exactly, and they thought, hey, why don't we use that downtime to do some heavy lifting?
Ooh, making those servers work the night shift. That's smart.
It is. They call it buffer upgrading. Basically, they use that spare computing power at night to pre-compress a bunch of data.
So when people wake up and jump back on Discord, everything is already primed and ready to go?
Exactly. It's like prepping all the ingredients for breakfast the night before.
Yeah.
Things just move faster when you've already done the prep work.
I love it. They squeezed every last drop of performance out of those servers. But wait, didn't you mention something about a happy accident? Something about a whole different part of the app.
Oh, right. So while they were knee-deep in all this compression stuff, they stumbled on another opportunity for improvement. This one wasn't about making files smaller, but about sending smarter data.
Sending smarter data, what does that even mean?
So imagine you're part of this massive Discord server, right? Tons of channels, thousands of messages flying by.
Yeah, it's information overload sometimes.
Exactly. And before all this optimization, Discord basically threw everything at your app, every new message, every update, the whole shebang.
Even if you were only interested in like one or two channels.
Yep. It was super inefficient.
So what did they do? Did they hire a team of digital traffic cops to direct the data flow or something?
Uh-huh. Kinda. They took a hard look at this feature called passive sessions.
Passive sessions. That sounds kind of familiar, but I can't quite place it. Refresh my memory.
It's all about focusing on what matters. Basically, with passive sessions, Discord only sends you updates for the channels you're actively viewing.
Ah, so it's like a personalized news feed. You only see the stuff you're interested in.
Exactly. Now, passive sessions were already pretty good at saving bandwidth, but Discord realized they could be even better.
Even better. How?
They were still sending too much data with each update. Like, if you only have one new message in a channel, they were sending the whole channel's data again.
That seems a bit excessive. Wouldn't it be better to just send the new stuff?
Exactly. So they found a way to do just that, instead of sending everything every time they figured out how to just send the changes.
Ooh, that's smart. Like sending a postcard instead of rewriting the whole encyclopedia every time a word changes?
Perfect analogy. It was a small change with a huge impact. They slashed bandwidth usage for passive sessions like crazy.
So all of this to say, Discord went through a whole lot of work to make their app faster and more efficient for us.
They really did. And it wasn't just about finding one magic solution. It was about constantly experimenting, analyzing data, and being willing to try new things, even if they seemed a little crazy at first.
It's like they say, the devil is in the details. Or in this case, the speed is in the details.
And that's something we can all learn from, right? It's not always about massive overhauls.
Yeah.
Sometimes the biggest impact comes from focusing on the small things, the little optimizations that add up over time.
And in a world where everyone wants things faster and smoother, those little optimizations can make all the difference.
Absolutely. It's a good reminder that even the apps we use every day are incredibly complex under the hood, and there's always room for improvement, even in the most unexpected places.
So next time you're scrolling through your favorite app, take a moment to appreciate all the unseen engineering that goes into making it fast, fluid, and fun.
And who knows, maybe it'll even inspire you to find some hidden efficiencies in your own work, or even just in your everyday life.
That's all the time we have for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us as we explored the fascinating world of Discord's quest for speed. Catch you in the next one.